All right, so your name again for all the
Leroy
fans?
Joseph.
Leroy Joseph. All right, Leroy, and you are again Curtis Martin's. You're Curtis Martin's family pastor.
I used to be his pastor when he lived in Pittsburgh, when he got drafted into the NFL, and whenever he was off, he would come back to our church, and so we had a good relationship there.
How long did that relationship last with Curtis?
It's still lasting. It's still on.
Still going.
Yeah, it's still on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Can you just recount the story of Curtis on draft day when he called you and said...
Well, it wasn't draft day. It was after
he was drafted by the Patriots,
yeah,
and he called you and said he doesn't like
I
football.
called him as we always did, and I said, "How are you doing?" And he said, "Man, I don't really like football, you know." And so I said to him, "Well, why don't you see football as a vehicle that God is going to give you to do what you're supposed to do in life?" Because he shared with me a number of things that he wanted to do in life. And I said, "Why don't you just see football as a platform that God would give you to accomplish those things?" And he grabbed that story, and he went with it. Over that point, and he went with it, because one of my strong points in life is, like, I teach that God has a purpose for every person, and so he has gifted us and given us talents and abilities in order to be able to do such things.
Can you tell me the significance of his number 28?
Number 28, we use Deuteronomy chapter 28 in the Bible, where God says that I will make you the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. So he grabbed onto that as his motto in life for football.
How proud are you of Curtis today?
Oh, extremely proud. And not so much as a football player, but as a person, as I've watched Curtis develop, from, like I said to him, I want to be there because I was at the beginning. I want to see the end of it. But it's not so much as a football player, as great he was, but as a person. He's never changed. As a matter of fact, he's just gotten better, as a person.
And I think you could say this might not be the end, but this might be the beginning of even better things.
Well, I think this is the beginning of his life. I think he was preparing, I think he understood that, there was life after football, So I don't think he's going to be one of the statistics that you have at the end of football. I believe he's going to go on because he understands his purpose in the earth.
Did you communicate with Curtis throughout his career, his football career?
Very much
all the
so,
time?
yes, all the time, yes.
Would he call you with any problems, or was it all usually positive stuff?
Oh, always, Curtis rarely had a problem. It's like when you finish talking to Curtis, it's like you've been pushed on to a new area, of thinking, a new area of thought, And so really wasn't any problem. He would call me and say, "What are you studying? What are you reading?" Those are the kind of things that we would discuss.
Interesting. So again, with the number 28, he told you that was his number, and you told him to go to
Deuteronomy
randomly, and that's what it said.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting story.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
You're welcome.
Thank you a lot,
very much.
Pastor. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great talking to you.